So let's just first texture this. Alright, so I'll take this bottle and then take it into a new collection. Also this one, take it to this collection, hide it, this one into this, move this into the center, just like that. Alright, I have in here this view, will be my rendered view. I'll split this and switch to shading. Alright, basic stuff, Shift A, add a plane, rotate it 90 degree G and move it back. I'll scale this one up so that it acts as a background. Next I'll be adding a camera with the 18 in the focal length, 0 to go to the camera view, G middle mouse, and move it back, just like that. Alright, I'll scale the plane a little bit, this one. Alright, perfect. I'll give to the plane an emission shader for now. Like that, and then move it back. Next I'll add an area light for previewing our texture. I'll increase the strength and then move it to the side like that. I think now you're already familiar with my workflow, so yeah, and that's it. Alright, if you select the crystal and go to the shading, you're gonna find this texture. I download this one from Sketchfab, I guess. Like, we have a mask for the metallic and roughness, normal map, and the base color. So we are not going to use the roughness and the normal map. So I'll select all of them and delete. Alright. So first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna deconnect this from the base color, and down in transmission I want this to have like a crystally look, so I'll take the transmission all the way up and the roughness a little bit down. Now we have this. If you select this base color, this image texture, and add a color ramp, take the color into the factor, Control Shift T to preview this one. Alright, as we do always, like, I'll take this one, I'll crack it. It's the same like as inverting them, as taking this one, give it black, take this one, give it white. The same. Alright, like also the fun thing about this one, it has this mask, this inner mask. Where is it? This one, that can help us to create some really beautiful stuff. If we see now, like if we crack in this more, we're gonna notice that this white mask is in the inner. I'll select this white slider, then I'll give it a blue color like I have it in here, the hex code, copy paste. Alright, now if you go back to the principal PSTF, we are going to not able to see nothing. Like, I found the trick. If we take the color, plug it into the emission in here, and take the strength, gonna be able to see now this wonderful glass. Like, if I remove the background, you're gonna see that this part, it's pure shiny glass, and this one has this emission glowing effect. Alright, like really, this one is really nice. So I'll take the background and move it up to this place. Alright, next, maybe I'm gonna give to this point 2 in the strength. You can also like go and pick different colors, like for example you can give it that pinkish color, take the perfume that we created in the first class, place it in some place in here. I can have a new render. Next I want this to have some sort of bump, because if we see it looks flat, right? Especially if we turn the roughness all the way down, you're gonna notice that. So I'll add a noise texture, Control T to add texture coordinate and the mapping node, Control Shift T, right click to preview it, switch this to object, take the scale a little bit up, and down in the distortion, give that some distortion, alright? Cool, I'll take maybe the scale just to 5. Next we are going to add a bump node, take the factor, plug it into the height, as you see, and now normal to normal, alright? Distance 0.01, strength almost down. Like now it looks much better, even if it's not that visible, but in here you're gonna see that. Like if I remove it, like the difference is pretty much good, alright? I want to give to this glass some sort of cracks, like you know the cracks that it's on the glass. So let's create that. Alright, let's add a Voronoi texture. Take the vector, plug it into the vector. If we preview this one, I'm gonna see what we have. So I'll take the scale around 0.3, just like that. Alright. Let's add now a bump node, or just let's duplicate this one. Distance into the height, normal into normal. If you take this one all the way up, I want those lines to have bump and this part to be flat. The way we're gonna do this is with adding a color ramp like that, plug it between the texture and the bump node, Control Shift to preview the color ramp, take this white slider and drag it closer to this dark one, something like that. We preview it again, gonna notice that. Let me take this background down. I'm gonna notice that the glass now some sort of cracks, which is really nice. Take the strength, let's take the distance to 0.01 and strength something higher. Yeah, as you see now we have this cracks on top of the glass. Also, like if we see those lines are straight, like if we take closer, like those lines are straight, and I think we need to give that some distortion. So if we preview this color ramp, go to Voronoi texture, in here you have an option called details, increase the details to something higher, and now if we preview again, but you can make this even better by going to there and playing with this one. As you see, I don't know what this one called, this one. Alright, and if you preview this you're gonna see that in real life. See, alright, give the details 0, you're gonna not see nothing, just make sure to increase the details and you have it. Alright, and the difference it's pretty much good. If you turn this 0, this line is straight, and if you do go always to the color ramp, adjust it however you want. And yeah, and this is the node tree. if you want to take a screenshot. Alright, and now I think I'll hide our crystal, bring the wood chunk G, and then move it to the middle of the camera like that. Alright, this one it's really simple. Alright, so we have in here this shader. This light is not affecting this chunk because it has an emission shader. So we are going to remove everything, add a principal PSTF into surface, color into color, take this one a little bit higher, roughness, and alright, I'll add now a color ramp, like same technique. I want to customize this wood chunk, take it up, alright, just like that. I'll take this light to this side, I move this light to this side. I'll add bump to give that some bumpness, color into the height, normal into normal, and take the strength a little bit down. And yeah, this one looks good. You can also finish that by adding a hue saturation node to control how much it's brighter. Cool. Now we need to apply this node for all. So select it, left click, copy, go to here and paste, delete this one to here, this one to this one, and the color into the height. Alright, perfect. Same thing, and delete this one, paste into this one to here, and this one to here. And now we have this perfect wood trunk. We're gonna hide it. This is the notary for it if you want to take a screenshot. Now let's work on the first scene. The idea that I have for this one is I want this bottle to be placed on top of this crystal, like in a crystally environment. So yeah, let's start. First I'll take this bottle and Shift S cursor to select. I want the 3D cursor to be snapped in here. So we are going to add an empty cube to parent this empty to the bottle. So scale everything and try to adjust it also in the top view. Hold Shift and the box, select this part, Control P, Object, Keep, Transform. Now everything is parented to the empty. Alright. So next I'll take this bottle and I'll place it perfectly on top of these. Also go to the top view and I'll check everything is correct. Alright, just like that. Next we are going to add a camera. So Shift A, add a camera. I'll change my aspect ratio. You can press 0 on your numpad to go to the camera view, G, and drag it back, move it up. I'll increase the focal length to something 18. Take this one, move it back, and then move it up. Also I'll adjust this one because you see it's not perfectly in here, so I'll move it a little bit inside, just like that. Alright, so we're gonna be enabling the composition guide. So in the camera properties, under viewport display, composition guide, enable the third and the center. The thing that I want to do is I want the shot to be a little bit from the bottom and a little bit from the side, like the same technique that we use in the second class. So hold shift and place the 3D cursor in here, go to the top menu and switch to 3D cursor, or you can press dot 3D cursor. Now everything will rotate perfectly around the 3D cursor. So R, Y, and rotate that a little bit on the Y axis, just a little bit. R, X, and also on the Z axis, just a little bit. I feel like I rotated that much from the Y, so I'll take it a little bit up, just like that. Alright, so press G, X twice, and move it to the side, go to the composition guide, and then play with the shift that a little bit, like my eyes on top of this line. I want this line to be in here, also the center to be. Also I'll press G and I'll move it down, and also a little bit on the Y, and G, move it a little bit forward, go back. Alright, like I think now it's perfect. We are ready to move. So next I'll take this crystal and I'll place it in the background, like I feel like it will help us in the composition. So select this crystal, Shift D, G, X, and move it back, G, Z, and move it up, and S, scale everything up, S again, S. Alright, just like that. Okay, I think now it's perfect. Next I'll be switching to my render view to just see what is going on. Next we are going to add the background, add the plane, rotate it, to place it behind your object. Alright, so for the background, like our default shader for the background, select the background, select the plane, it's this new button, add a translucent BSDF, take it and plug it into surface, Shift S, cursor to select, Shift A, and add an area light, and place it behind the background. So move it a little bit down because I want some darkness, give that a little bit of strength. For the color, I'll pick a slightly blue color, not, yeah, just like that. Alright. Now we can move on to the lighting. So let me take this one, G, and move it back. Alright, let's scale it up, try to adjust it. Also let me enable the depth of field from now, like to just don't forget, select the camera, go to the depth of field, enable it, select this and choose the label to be the target. Now we have the background is blurry, so you can control. Okay, I recommend around 8. Yeah, that's it. Also rotate this one and to give it like a different angle, you can rotate it. Yeah, just like that. For the lighting, I want the first light to be targeted only those parts, like the front and the label and I want some highlight also to be in this part and here. So let's start with the main light. So Shift A, add an area light and move it to the side. G, bring it forward, and then scale it down. I'll change the shape to disk. I'll drop the spread. I'll drop the strength and drop the spread all the way down so that we see what we are doing. I'll move it forward. I'll scale this on the Y axis like that. Alright, to place it, yes. So go back to the spread, increase the spread and increase the strength of your light like that, and here we go. So for the highlights I want this part and this part, so we are going to add an area light, rotate it and I'll place it behind this part. Anyway, so scale it down, take the strength almost down, we'll scale this on the Z axis, scale this on the Z axis and we'll place it in the back. Okay, I want it barely to be visible, so scale it one more time on the X axis and take the strength a little bit, yeah, just like that. Alright, I'll duplicate the same light and I'll place it in the side, the bottom part, yeah, as we see in here. So I'll increase X and I'll move it back, increase the strength, and here we go. Like, I don't know why this part on the label looks that dark, like this part. So to get rid of this, really easy, take your label, go to edit mode and move it on the X axis like that. Alright, and move it across, and this will do pretty much it. And select the empty and the light and rotate. Make sure that you select the empty lastly and choose active element and rotate everything, and now we have this. And I'll move the light a little bit to the side, I'll drop the strength, and here we go, and that's it. You can also scale the light a little bit more if you need, or scale it up, play with the spread, and that's pretty much it for this one. For this one we are going to use 3 elements. We have the wood chunk, the bottle and the crystal. First thing, I want to take this crystal and scatter it on the top. So start by rotating the wood chunk and place it below the bottle. Select your crystal and place it in the top. Press Shift D and duplicate your crystal around the bottle. Don't pay too much attention to it because we're gonna adjust that later. After you're done, if you see now they look similar, they have same size, same angle, which make it a little bit weird. So we need to change the variation for each one by scaling and rotating. Like, to make it easy for you, try to make the bottle looks like it's held by the crystal, like if the crystal helping it from not falling down. And take your time on this. So yeah, after you finish, you can parent the crystal to the wood chunk to move it freely in the space, to scale it or rotate it, whatever. Next, we are going to add the camera, and don't forget to change the focal length to something around 18 and move it back. What I did next is I duplicate the wood chunk and place it on the top. This will help us in the composition. We are going to add the plane, scale it, and move it back. In the shading tab, give it a translucent BSDF. Then add an area light and place it behind it to create a gradient background. For the lighting, we are going to keep it simple as always. Add an area light, rotate it, and place it in the top. Change the shape to disk, drop the spread, and adjust the strength. Now we just created the main light. Let's add the highlight. Add another light, move it to the side, scale it on the x-axis, adjust the strength, and here we go. Fastest lighting breakdown for the